Okay, Yeti, here's your big chance. You idiot. What the hell? Oh my god.
That was a mad.
No.
Yeah, you were like,
no.
Yeah,
No.
100%.
Oh my god.
Nailed it.
Every time.
Absolutely.
You fall under pressure every time. Bro, be like me. Make love to pressure.
I
What?
do not like that reference.
Figuratively.
You're embarrassing yourself in front of the pretty man.
Yes, we do have a pretty man.
No, I could not hear you. So I'll just...
Max is pretty. That's what we were saying.
Oh, okay.
Street Mods. Every Wednesday and Saturday, 3 p.m. Central, only on Mad Barber Entertainment.
Street spots.
Oh yeah, this is the good version.
Reigning is the Mad King,
Yeah.
comes with no ease. Burden of greatness is hard on these knees. Lameness is your particular disease. Touching with jokes, that's my sacred degree. Bloods and crips got
I mean, how are you
nothing
going to
on
top
me.
this?
shush,
I would
shush.
say.
Begin to gout for eternity. That's my war cry. It's out my Bradley. Knocking out movies like I'm
I
probably
listen to this song all the time.
Legitimately, I rolled to it.
I love it. No, it's so good.
You best believe satisfaction's not guaranteed. Mama Susan treats me like I'm a refugee.
You know, the
Facts.
worst part
I know how to
is,
use
like,
a
I wrote it and I forget the lyrics when singing to
back
it.
roads and back rooms. I be saving the future. I'm down for two the Chad.
That's
Bars
right.
that'll make you mad.
Every superhero needs his theme music.
Well, yeah, there's more proof that they're superhuman.
Shush. And what's Gucci, my ninjas? It's your boy Mad. Oh, I almost messed up my own name. It's me. Hanging out on the dump, and we have a very special guest, Maxfield Von Priestley.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, thank you so much for having me on, brother.
Initially it was because we were going to have Mark the Cyborg, who's a betrayer of hope and joy, but you still showed up. That's cool.
You're good. Second best.
So we were going to have Mark on tonight. Unfortunately, his internet is out, Canadian, and unreliable internet and healthcare and everything. But but we're going to have him on next week. So we're rescheduled for next week. And I think he gave me a game on Steam for compensation for not being here, which is the coolest thing anyone's ever done for no showing. Yeah. And we also have Mr. Grant Gregory.
Hello. It's awesome to be on the Mad Dump, aka the Superior Dump.
Yep.
Especially with MVP, so I don't have to show my face because I don't want to be the third prettiest person on screen. So, and Yeti won't be spaced on screen, so I won't have anyone above me. So, I'm happy to be here.
Yeti's like, oh, I got to get in shape before I do that. I got to get back to.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to reduce my gums with surgery.
Speaking of Yeti, where my Yeti at?
Your Yeti's right here.
Max, I know I can see by your face. You're like, what is happening? This is the weirdest fucking people. Sorry, some of this stuff is
still a better love story than Twilight.
We spend way too much time together. I'll say that. Anyway,
I love it, man. No, this is great.
I think it would be trouble like in a physical meetup. Like there would be crimes being committed.
What kind of crimes there, Yeti?
Oh, only misdemeanors. They're probably not crazy.
Only misdemeanors. All right, who we got in the chat? I saw that we got Joseph Dredd, Keely Chow. I know Keely. Let's see. Eric K. Awesome. I'm just kind of scanning if there's a message that Soul Assassin, my chatimal. I feel like I haven't talked to y'all all day. Except y'all hit that like button. Absolutely, he's a man.
Nice.
Tom is a music genius. I mean, he was rapping about me. Like, how easy is that? Like, you're already off.
How easy is that?
Huh?
Ask Yeti how easy it is.
What?
Well, the rapping part's not easy.
Nah, the rapping's easy,
I'm
bro.
a lyrical wizard. That's what I found out from this.
Bro. Anyway, what's up, Mark?
You're telling me that lyrics does not get you pumped?
Oh, it does, dude. I roll unironically. Like every time I go to the gas station or anywhere, it's playing all the time.
Musical wizard.
That's just your theme song to life.
Yeah, it is. It's a great song, and it's true, 100% true. I do think I'm Jackie Chan, and I am the YouTuber's YouTuber.
Well, I mistake you for Jackie Chan all the time, but it's probably just because of your facial features.
Yeah. Oh, look. Nope. I'm gonna have to skip over that one. Sorry. So real quick before we get into the articles that I do have set aside and stuff, I did want to talk about. Did you all hear about the Lord of the Rings? That 25 million. It may not have been. It was an alternative figure, economics, I guess, because. So, who are they called? Rubus? I don't know who they're called. Anyway, other people that like can look at numbers. They came in at like 1 point. I probably said that article for this, but like I know House of Dragon did 4.8, and then they did like they were beaten out by House of Dragons, Moon Knight, Obi-Wan, and Stranger Things. So yeah, $1 billion spent. Well played.
Well spent. Well spent.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it gets this all monetized. That aren't mainly
the excuse that I've been seeing is like, well, this is just the U.S. numbers. Oh, okay. So that other 20 million came from other countries.
I guess so.
Because how they were originally doing it is when you first like log into your Amazon, it'll start playing a trailer. They count that view as an actual view on the show.
Really?
Yeah,
like I know YouTube does it too.
Yeah, every single time. But what happens is because when you click on it, it'll start playing the first episode. It won't actually go to the list. It'll just go straight into it. So that little preview that you get when you go onto Amazon, it's coming up the top and it's playing the episode. That's counting as a view.
Oh wow. Hey Sherry, you forgot the exclamation point at the end of that. So,
yeah.
Just Anyway, Max, have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Yes, yeah, I went and saw it in the theaters, the first 2 episodes because they were doing the promotional, free showing. I went and did that, and then did a stream directly after, just kind of giving my initial thoughts. But yeah, man, that's 25 to like 1.9 or something. That's a lot of people.
So the I forgot who it is that does the numbers or whatever, but like
Nielsen.
Yeah, no, it's not Nielsen. It's somebody else that does, because Nielsen can't do streaming because you have to have the box in your house and shit. But anyway, they're not able to track it through on all TVs or whatever, but a good bit of it. So let's say that they're wrong. I don't think they're going to be wrong by another 15 million. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. Yeah. That's such a good point.
This isn't one of those, well, yeah, their numbers are wrong too, so let's go somewhere in the middle. I don't think so.
Maybe they're trying to count all the pirated views as well.
Who, Amazon did?
Yeah, they're counting the pirated downloads too, which is nowhere near that many. And 2, there's a little asterisk next to it. It says give or take 15 million. So they got it covered, yeah.
Give or take. It's funny because like comic books will do that too. Like if you look at comic book sales, like you can really only determine how many comic books are sold based off of software that is given to only certain retail shops. So it's like, okay, this number of comic books sold, like issues sold, to actual people. How many of those actually read those books? How many of them are just collecting? How many of them are reselling at a higher value? Like there's so many different factors into it.
They also report numbers shipped, not sold too.
Shipped
to
the
we sold 25,000, but then half them don't leave the store. They get sent back to Marvel.
And they're also required to buy so many from them. Yeah. Like that was the
problem with Diamond. Like Diamond would be the ones that would be giving all these sort of things. Like they'd be like, by the way, you're getting 30 copies of this, and you only sell one. But you count it. You count it doing that, and you go, we're gonna send that back, and they're like, no, you're not.
Whatever happened with Diamond? Because I know, like, didn't both DC and Marvel like ditch them?
No, it was the other way around. Diamond ditched them. They stopped doing it.
Well, that seems like a bad business move from them.
Whatever happened to that comic with the chick with the armpit hair that she would swing from?
Is that
Mother of Madness? Yeah,
Mother's Madness. Could you imagine being a comic book owner? I don't know any of those. I hear there's one around here somewhere that you sell in a comic book store. But imagine yourself, you have a store.
Don't pretend like you haven't stalked him repeatedly at this.
He has no bushes in front of his house, unlike comics. Comics is easy. I can just hide in his bush. That guy. Anyway, but no, imagine you have a comic book store and they're like, hey, congratulations, we're sending you 200 copies of Mother Madness. You have to pay for that.
Yeah. No, it would be infuriating.
Because Tales from the Period Blood, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It was actually like one of the. Oh, sorry. No, I was just going to say it was actually one of the first comic book reviews that I'd done like on my channel like a year ago, because I was just reading it and I was like, this can't not be talked about. Like each page was just like more like arduous than the next. It was incredible.
You got to read the whole thing?
It took me about a week to finish it because like it's a thick book and there's like so much expository like dialogue and it's just so dialogue heavy. And
it's no Gotham High, but it's all right.
All about periods.
Dude, I wanted the whoever there was with the lunchbox, gas, internet gas guy, and Snowflake.
Well, the new Warriors,
Avengers.
Sage Face, and I mean, I just want to know what the hell internet gas is. Like, if you
never
inhale
know.
it, are you Google? Like, how does it work?
Like his power is literally Google.
Well, do you think the internet gas has the same effect? Like, whenever they do these AI, like on Google, right, and they're like, all right, we'll put it on Twitter for a little bit. Like within 15 minutes, it's the most racist.
Yeah, that's the story arc. He starts off with this mild-mannered, nice young guy, and at the end of it, he's hosting clan rallies.
Because he's been snuffing too much internet gas.
Dude, we were for one of my business classes, we just read an article talking about how it was how this new software was affecting employees. And basically the software that is employed is that it's like it can watch you from your desktop through your laptop or whatever, through your camera. It can read your keystrokes, so it can read all your passwords, your credit card information. But it's basically there to try and watch employees to see how productive they are in a work day if they're working from home. And it was saying that the camera capture for like watching employees wouldn't be able to determine different facial expressions from people of color or people who had different skin colors and stuff. And so it was saying that the software was discriminatory towards those people. And I was like, gosh, dang it, man. AI is really racist, huh?
And for Garrett, it only worked, 75% of the time.
That sounds miserable being tracked like that.
Dude,
just absolutely miserable.
Dude, you live in Canada. You're used to it.
Right? What are you talking about, Canadian? There was a phone. I forgot what phone it was. I think it was in the Super Bowl. They had the commercial. And the whole ad, the promotional, was all about, hey, black people can use this camera. That was the whole thing, was just about how great it is to take pictures if you're black. That was the whole thing. I'm like, oh, wow.
Nice.
I mean, okay. I feel like they've been able to take pictures for a long time now. Like,
you would think, you would hope. I mean, I've taken pictures with plenty of my black friends in the military from football teams and stuff, and it was great.
Oh but they haven't taken the pictures. That's where they get you. That's the loophole. You've taken the pictures.
You're right.
So.
Wasn't Tesla? Maybe it wasn't. It was one of these self-driving cars, and the sensors weren't able to pick up black people.
Oh my god! I didn't know that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought it had trouble with kids.
Oh yeah, well that's a height thing. Yeah, I guess they're relying upon parents. They're like, no, don't run in the streets. But
they should have set the car up in America.
What a world we live in! You got to watch your own kids. What bullshit is this?
Well, no, it takes a village,
like America.
Bro. It takes a village. I gotta show you this as soon as I find it.
Max is immediately regretting coming on. That's what.
That's not true. I'm here. I'm in this conversation. I'm loving it. I was gonna say though, I was gonna say though, they had like polls on the article that we were reading, and it was saying like, do you think that? And it was asking people. This was a Wall Street Journal article, but it was asking the people who were reading like, do you think that these employees should be monitored by camera and keystrokes and all this stuff? And 98% of people were saying no. So it's definitely a software that is like being very carefully implemented, if it is implemented at all. So at least there is hope there that like I think most people agreed that like, nah, we should not be doing this. It's creepy.
It's not new either. Like this came up at during the pandemic, that they were trying to look for ways to track employees to make sure that, you know, they weren't messing around when they're supposed to be working, because there's such a productivity drop from this whole work at home thing.
Exactly.
I wonder why.
They have studied this for a long time, and they found even when you go to work, the majority of people only do about 4 hours of work when they're at work. The rest of the time is just screwing off and killing time. So it's
talking on the water cooler. Yeah.
All right, I gotta show you guys this.
Back in a second.
Okay. Let's see. Hopefully this works. Yep. Does it go? Is it away? Did it go away?
Oh God. Yeah.
All right. We good?
Yeah.
All right. Check this out. Yep. Oh, sorry. Hang on.
I don't think you shared audio.
Oh, let me see where the audio is coming from.
Really allows a child to feel so. Let me tell y'all the like white supremacy at play that really allows a child to feel so protected and safe that they can do quite remarkable shit like this. Good for him. Let me tell you.
So because of his whiteness, he feels safe enough to do a crazy jump on a trampoline.
Bruh.
Okay, I know your initial reaction is, no, that's horrible. My first thought was like, I kind of get it, because like for me, I've always embraced my whiteness. I don't do things that get white people killed, right? Like that. That's something that's how white people die. I don't get in the ocean. I don't mess with animals I don't know. I don't check out strange noises at night. Like, oh, what's that over there?
Not living. That's all I'm hearing.
No, I am living. That's the point, Yeti.
No.
So I'm like, well, yeah, I guess maybe that's it. But my problem with the video,
you joined the army.
Yeah, I wanted the free T-shirt. Like I was high as shit. I was like, I want a free T. That's a true thing. Anyway, but no, but like what was killing me on that was the padding that was covering up the springs. I commented, I was like, dude, this generation is so protected that they have they will never know the thrill and joy and horror of jumping while springs are flying at your head as you're jumping on the trampoline. Like, did either one of y'all have a trampoline?
I did.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I did break my friend's arm on it. But in all fairness, we wanted to see what happens when 4 people jumped at the same time. And he was the lightest, so he was the one that got propelled up.
Oh, just like in that video, except y'all didn't have the padding to catch him, to slow him down.
No, it was the big classic rectangle ones. There was no padding up or anything. And even if you did, he would have gone higher than the padding allowed. And yeah,
the rectangle one is so much better. Like the round ones suck for jumping.
I had a round one. Wait, does y'all have the net thing?
No.
No, okay. Making sure. Max, did you have a trampoline?
No, my cousin had one, but yeah, man, I know what you're talking about with those springs. I mean, if your leg gets caught in one of those things, or I mean, they were death traps just waiting to clamp down on your skin and take your leg off.
They would pop off, though. They would pop off.
They'd pop off and they'd fling at you, yeah. But it also,
I think you got the discount trampoline if they're popping off.
Well, we had it for a long time, yeah.
You could actually build up a lethal amount of static electricity by running around with socks on them. So that was the best part during the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
One of the things I ended up doing on it was I'd practice ski tricks. So I'd be jumping with the skis on in the boots, just like practicing all the tricks.
That is the whitest thing I've ever heard someone say.
Yeah.
Oh, on my trampoline, I would practice my ski moves.
I did. Yeah, I taped up the edges so it wouldn't cut the material, and yeah, so that was dangerous. And
tell me he doesn't come from money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, thank God nothing happened. We wouldn't want you to have a brain injury or anything.
That happened later.
Oh, that's funny. But not ski related.
No.
I watched earlier there. I watched the gang goes skiing or whatever. It's Always Sunny.
Oh God, yeah, I love
funny
that
episode, bro. Yeah.
I just finished that season. I think that's season 10 or something. Something
like that. Yeah. Have you watched all of it?
No. I'm making my way through again. Season 1 through probably 8 are like just near perfection.
Yeah.
So now I'm watching the later or the most recent seasons.
I don't know about season 1 because it really picks up in 2 when Danny DeVito is permanently added to the cast.
He certainly was like that thing that they needed, that spark. Yeah.
It really brought the show together.
I just finished 13, I think is the latest one. And I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but the last episode, Charlie Day, I think is hilarious. Do I think he's an actor? No. He had my girlfriend in tears. I wasn't.
Oh, where he's in the rain, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Dude.
I'd seen a few memes about that. So I can't wait to watch it.
Oh man. It was rough. And she's like, I was like, I'm not crying. She's like, well, why are you in your I'm crying, but I don't want you to see position on the couch. I'm like, that's not a thing. And it was a whole back and forth, but it doesn't matter.
That's got something in my eye.
Yeah. No, but I was
too
really impressed.
Not Googling to find out what we're talking about.
I will say it was pretty fun to see Danny DeVito come on board because like season 1, I think they had those great elements of like how crazy they all are. Like the first episode is something like the gang gets racist, or it's something called like it's very like they just hit the ground running with season 1.
Wasn't the second episode Dumpster Baby?
yeah, exactly, something like that. So then you have Danny DeVito come in, and he can really like ramp up that like insanity where he's just like throws all his money away, gets divorced from his wife, like forgets everything about like, rich, high life, and just lives in squalor with Charlie. And I think that's like why they were able to go to such insane heights with the show, because like Frank can do that with his character. He lathers himself in hand sanitizer when there's that plague that's, in the show and stuff
clean. I'm clean.
So yeah, I
so as someone who's never watched a single episode of the show, what's it about?
So we can go ahead and move on because that's way too much. I wasn't ever a fan either. I watched a couple of episodes and I got hooked. I'm like, dude, this is brilliant. And I think they're really smart. I'm even watching the soccer documentary on Hulu with him and Ryan Reynolds because they bought that team.
Yeah, that's right.
Wixon,
nice.
some shit like that. I really enjoying the documentary. I think it's great.
Ham? They bought West Ham?
Yeah, say? West Ham. Yeah.
Holy shit! They've got some money then.
Oh yeah. They put a lot of money into it.
Did you ever watch Mythic Quest, the other one by Rob Michael?
I watched maybe the first, maybe the second episode. I'm like, oh man, no, I couldn't get into it.
All I heard is they kind of went woke with it or something.
Yeah,
I didn't really look into it much beyond that.
But look, if you want a good show on Apple, Severance, one of the best series I've seen in a very long time. It is brilliant, and it's directed by Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller has such a this ability to put everything in that uncanny, right? Like what Hitchcock used to talk about, right? Like he was so good at taking normal things, but he would the atmosphere would be turned in a way to where it feels off. You never feel comfortable with what's happening. You're like, there's something deep, right? And it's such a great show. That one's great. Ted Lasso, I really enjoy. I had problems with it, but I really enjoyed Ted Lasso as well. And I've learned about, like, I know it's called The Pitch, and bullshit like that. Never wanted to know, but yeah, Severance on Apple is worth a subscription, 100%.
And
Wow.
I think
I'll have
I
to
think it
check it
takes
out.
actors who aren't normally in that position as well, and just
Mhm.
elevates them. I
Yeah.
can't even think of the main guys.
It's what's his name, man?
I
Can't
always
think
remember him
anything he's
from
in.
the demon
Yeah.
from A Good Place, even though he was on the Parks and Rec and all that. And
Oh, Parks and Recs. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
from Parks and Recs. He's the one that Leslie fell in love with. He was in this show called Ghosted
Ooh.
on Fox. I think it lasted maybe a season where he was tracking down ghosts or something with the black guy from he plays music. He was in The Office. He was in This
that
Is
guy,
the End.
yeah. That doesn't narrow it down.
Oh,
He was in The Office.
Daryl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daryl, yes, from The Office. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but yeah, he's in it too with this guy. What is that dude's name? Anybody? Chat.
Yeah.
Adam
No, but he
Scott.
was good in it.
Adam
in,
Scott. It was Adam Scott. He's the main guy in Severance.
Yeah, without
Okay.
going
Yeah.
into too much, he was good in both roles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The premise of the show is basically they have this thing it's called Severance, right? It's where you have basically two people. You have your work person and then you. And whenever you leave, your mind gets clicks into your out of work person. And then when you get to work, it like clicks back onto your work person. So they actually they're two completely different people because they're having different experiences, even though they're the same person. And so so the work person doesn't have any contact with the outside. So he's only at work. So his entire existence is at work. He's there to work, and then it turns off when you're done. And then the outside guy.
And they have no memory of each other.
Yeah.
That sounds like such like a great premise, something I'd be really interested in. The only
It's really good.
my only fear is that you find out that if like I only had a work presence or like only an office presence without any type of escapism, I would just want to end myself because that sounds horrifying.
You got to check it out because
let's just say there's a twist on that sort of thing.
there's a few. Yeah, and there's goats.
Screaming goats like in
no, not screaming goat. No, God,
Okay.
no.
No.
By the way,
probably Patricia Arquette's best role, I think.
Yeah, nails it. Yeah.
Nice.
In what's his name? The bowler from The Big Lebowski. Oh brother, where art thou? He's in all kinds of stuff.
The one who played Jesus.
The Jesus.
Totoro, what's his name?
Yeah, whatever.
Totoro?
Y'all know who I'm talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's in it as well. He's really good.
Balls.
Yeah, he's really good too. Damn it. Oh, so the whole Severance thing though, that's how I the Jesus. That's how I feel about the Hulk, right? With the smart Hulk. I'm like, no, he killed the other Hulk because that other Hulk existed away from Bruce, had his own personality, his own agency, and he's gone. He's dead. And at best, no problem. Because Jane and I talked about this, and Jane was like, no, like he's suppressed. He's suppressing the Hulk. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like he's dead.
That's
and
worse,
he killed him.
though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's something Wanda would do.
That's actually something, if they could actually still write, would be a very interesting thing to explore, because
I don't want them touching it.
Yeah, but they won't be able to do it. But if they were capable of writing, having the beast just like claw its way out and just not want to like return,
Yeah,
so
like it would be a World War Hulk scenario, but it would be the MCU's version of World War Hulk, which would be terrible because it would be the Hulk going up against the A-Force or female Avengers or Avenge Herds, whatever you want to call it, and he won't be able to fight any of them.
Yeah, it'd be terrible now. Just terrible.
Yeah, it would be like the whole theme or message would be like toxic masculinity in the form of Hulk or whatever.
Yeah.
Literally, and that's what it would be. He would be the actual proper embodiment of masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, you'd be like, actually, I got to go to work. I'm being responsible. I pay taxes. Like, oh, you male.
How
dare you?
How dare you
keep opening these doors for me?
Oh, how dare you keep buying for my drinks and my food? Gosh, dang it!
All right,
I'm going to have to buy my own roofing.
If you need to move on, Matt, just let me know. I was going to mention there's a cool Hulk comic out right now. If you guys aren't reading it, from Donny Cates, explores the psyche of Hulk. Is pretty interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This might be a weak question, but which Hulk is it? Is it Banner or is it Cho? Or
It's Bruce Banner, and he has come up with a way of almost honing the Hulk's aggression. And now Bruce Banner is monitoring that through the psyche of like this. He's using Hulk essentially as a vessel of just anger, so he can control like with like a literal control stick of like from 1 to 10, and can ramp up the anger whenever he feels he needs to control this vessel. It's pretty wild. It's it's very interesting take. If you guys want a new take on Hulk of something about his psyche,
I may actually check that out.
Yeah, I might check that out, man. Thanks for the
all
recommendation.
Right. So AV Club has their House of the Dragon versus Rings of Power. How do they stack up? Before, I'm just curious. Yeti, which one do you prefer?
House of the Dragon, easily.
All right.
Okay.
That's it.
No, I'm more looking at your banner that just popped up.
What banner? What did they say?
I'm loving the anime.
It's
vibe.
a big hit for young adults.
Yeah.
I don't think they're arms above their head, but they kind of look like legs.
That looks like one of the things you showed me earlier. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Grant, House of the Dragon or Ring of Power?
For quality, House of the Dragon. For monetization, Ring of Power.
Thanks. And Max, you're a Ring of Power guy?
That is the current show that I'm watching right now. Yes,
are you not watching House of the Dragon?
I'm not actually.
What the
I know. Well, the thing, I had this conversation with Flaccid Phoenix the other night on my stream, which is basically
Sorry, I don't know that is an awesome name.
Oh, you know? Oh my gosh, he's a great dude. Yeah,
it kind of took me by surprise there.
He's hilarious. Flaccid Phoenix does his videos are basically, he does the classic would you have sex with, marry, or kill Marvel Cinematic Universe characters, and he does that with his co-hosts and stuff. It's hilarious. But yeah, no, he and I were what's up?
I think we can play that too. Unfortunately, Yeti's answer is always just to have sex with him. Doesn't matter who it is. He's very pent up.
The facts.
And
dude, you have to watch House of the Dragon, man. Like at least as a palate cleanser for Ring of Power. Like it is shocking when they're juxtaposed like what they are, like, and you can see that like the quality of not only the storytelling, the world building, the visuals, everything is like, oh, they spent the money on this show. And then you look at the Amazon bullshit and it looks like one of those movies they do in Romania when a star is going through a divorce, right? That's how you get the In the Name of the King, because somebody had to, because they spend the money on the show. Shit.
Yeah.
But that's what Rings of Power looks like. Like somebody was like, well, they don't need to have like good costumes, right? Just throw some shit on them.
Well, that was the thing. Yeah, one of the things that I noticed about House of the Dragon, and I had only watched clips from it, and yet even from the short clips that I was watching, like the costumes looked like they had weight to them. It looked like there was actual leather work. And I looked at the Rings of Power show and I'm like, it looks like they went to Joann's Fabrics down the street from my house and just like picked up some flimsy, thin,
I really don't know what they're thinking.
No,
honestly.
Like in what I really appreciate about what they're doing with House of the Dragon is they have their top female, right? I don't know her name. I don't, it's,
Rhaenyra.
Words. Yeah, Rhaenyra, right? The princess or whatever. And the whole last episode, she's just like, why me? And they're like, oh, I'm always being reminded about how I can't do this or I can't do, And every time she does it, they're like, no, dum-dum. Like, whoa, no. Like, look at what you actually have. You have the power to do this. Like, she's complaining to this dude, and he's like, you put me in the position that I'm in. What are you talking about? You have no say, no power. Like, and every time she was doing it, there was somebody to push back on what she's doing. Whereas with Ring of the Power, you better not say shit to get clear out of there.
Well, and also
every scene.
It's it's a subtle difference. So in House of the Dragon, the king gets cut on his finger. In 2 episodes later, they don't mention it, but his fingers have been removed.
They still haven't mentioned it
as an Easter egg. Yeah, they still haven't mentioned it. In like the Rings of Power, they literally pan down to a hole. They look up at him. He throws a torch down the hole and goes, "That's a hole."
And they also did like for the game with the doors or whatever. He's like, "All right, as you know, we're gonna take the rocks," and he explains the whole game and also you know that you'll get banned. Like, who are you? Why are you? No, you're. Why don't you just look at the camera and be like, "Hey guys, here's what's gonna happen." You're too dumb to be able to figure out this complicated game of who can smash rocks the longest. So we're going to explain in detail how the game is played and what the penalties are and all this. I'm like,
yeah, you could have cut it down to one line. Just like if you lose, you're
that's
banished.
it. That's all you needed.
That's
yeah.
it. And then start. You could figure out the game as they start smashing rocks.
Yes.
Like that's
as they're doing it, that you can say, "Are you getting too tired to break the rock, you weird looking fuck?" Or something.
Yeah, no.
God.
Audio. That wasn't a clip from the thing. That's actually mad.
That was me.
The thing that drove me nuts is every single time Galadriel is on screen, she has to one up whoever she's talking about how she's got it worse every single time.
Yeah.
Every conversation.
You haven't seen what I've seen. And in House of the Dragon, she tries to do the same thing. She's like, "You don't," and they're like, What are you saying right now? You're being dumb. Not so much, but they definitely push back on her, which is nice to see. Yeah.
And it actually helps her grow as a character. It's actually part of the story development.
I will say though,
come across the motion of holding a fucking blade.
It definitely treats its audience like children. Like it definitely doesn't respect its audience as far as like the source material and the dialogue and the the world building. It basically tries to hand everything over to them on a platter and is like, "Do you get it? Do you get it yet?" And it's pretty condescending as an audience member, being like, "Let's go, move on. I understand."
Yeah.
Especially when you have characters like the Harfoots that have no place within this show. I mean, they're the most boring part of this thing, and yet you're constantly told about, Nori's going, I have to get out of here. I have to wander away. I have to explore. That's not who we are. We do that. It's like
I have to go wander the unwanderable or the unwandered.
Yeah. I have to eat berries like an absolute.
Instead of Hobbiton, because that's definitely where my character's going.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. It's
everything
and every time they have to say some one of these nerd words in Elven or some shit, you can see the actor concentrating so hard to get the word right, because it stands out. It reminds me of Romeo and Juliet, the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, because in that you can see who understands what Shakespeare wrote and those who are just repeating the lines that they have memorized.
Right.
And that's a big difference. Like I don't feel anyone in Rings of Power, when they deliver these lines, that they even know what it is that they're saying, because it's all nonsense. They write it in a way to, look at how Shakespearean it sounds and blah, blah, blah. But it's dumb. Like some of the lines in there by, what's the Blelvin, the black elf?
The elf. Yeah.
Arendelle.
I don't
whatever. I'm not going to learn his name. That dude, that chick goes, "Hey, do you have any healers in your people?" Well, yes, we do. Although we heal on our own, so they don't actually do that. They find the hidden beauty in that, in which some other bullshit. And I'm like,
in the
you could have said, "No, I don't have healers."
They find the truth in the hidden beauty, or it's a mess. Like
it's horrible.
So no, you don't have healers.
No, you just don't.
Just we could have stopped there.
Yeah, because he's like, they're called alchemists or something. Not alchemists. What are they called? Some bullshit.
Artificer.
Yeah, it's a D&D class that's about mechanical sort of stuff. And
well, the word is about mechanical stuff too.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even fit.
Yeah. Speaking of not fitting, we find another super chat from Mr. Grant Gregory. Yes. Scott's not here, so here have some monies. See,
nice, man.
You spend $5. I'm not even going to correct your grammar spelling. Anyway, let's get back to this article because I'm excited to see what AV Club thinks. Yeti, you're the reader.
10% of the poll, it seems, or 11% of the poll prefer Rings of Power.
Oh, we have a poll?
Yep. Apparently 2.8 people prefer Rings of Power.
Wow.
Tina.
That's surprising.
I know it's Tina.
Is it because of the memeability, maybe? Or the just sheer curiosity?
I don't know.
Because I feel like House of the Dragon, and granted, I've only seen few scenes, but objectively, it's already better just from a cinematography standpoint, acting, dialogue, costume design, like
that was another thing about Rings of Power. There is as basic as it can be. Every shot, there's nothing unique or artistic about the shot composition that they're using. Even
they moved the camera when they were in the cave. They went like this. I saw it.
So. Bro, like
the editing of the troll scene was just horrendous. But yeah.
By the way, did you not know that the orc was going to be behind him? We're watching and we're like, the orc's going to be behind him. Like it is. What did I call it? I called it was write by numbers instead of paint by numbers. Like they are just
the thing I always say that you stole from me. Yeah.
Don't you starve me, Yeti. We have a guest.
I always call it paint by numbers.
No, so I wanted to write by numbers. Different. He's changed more than 25%. He now owns it.
So Ben de Goro. I have to do that. That's Scott. He mandated that we mispronounce everyone's name. In my opinion, it's unfair to judge ROP by episode. Some series need the whole season, but again, it doesn't matter. Well, so again, I don't even care about the wokeness because of how broken it is on its own. As just I think I think it absolutely is fair to judge an episode by the episode.
Well, especially when they release it episodically. If they dumped it all at once, you could have that argument.
Yeah,
but when
watch the whole series.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
that way.
These first two episodes are supposed to be laying the groundwork for everything that is to come, and also to entice and draw in their audience to make them want to watch 3.
That's how 4. Episode 1 is always supposed to go. And Game of Thrones, it did it brilliantly. Episode 1, that first couple minutes, you were hooked. And I'm not talking House of the Dragon, just how good the first episode of Game of Thrones was. Like,
I'll be honest. I think you'll remember through rose-tinted glasses. That first episode of Game of Thrones was an absolute mess.
What?
It had a good scene at the beginning. The rest of it was pretty bad up until the bit where Bran gets thrown. Yeah, it's a mess of an episode. Go back and watch it again.
All right, I'll go back and watch it again.
I've watched that so many times. I loved it.
Okay, well, I have one better. Justified, the series with Timothy Olyphant, has one of the best pilot I've ever seen on TV. The pilot is so strong for Justified. I mean, it hooks you. It is so good.
It's so strong it brought someone back to life.
Yeah, it did. It brought Crowder back to life. Yeah. Have you seen Justified, Max? I can't hear you, but I'm going to assume you're saying no.
My bad. No, I hadn't seen that one. No, I haven't seen Justified.
Do you know what we're talking about? Justified? It introduced the world to gangster grass rap. What is that? What it was called?
Yeah, for those 2 years, I remember.
Yeah. It was like bluegrass with rap.
I know Timothy Olyphant.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I just looked it up. It looks fantastic.
It is. Every season is good. Like it does. It ends before all of this nonsense starts, right? Like you can, like the Vikings in Game of Thrones, you can track when their wokeness hits peak through the seasons. You're like, oh wow, like you can literally see where it happens. But Game of Thrones, Justified ended before that, thankfully, and they're thinking about bringing it back. I don't trust you.
No.
Yeah. Justified's good. Anyway, I need to get a drink. So, Yeti, read.
Okay. House of the Dragon. Despite the presence of dragons and some magical elements at the fringes of society, the Song of Ice and Fire is set in a world not dissimilar to our own. The fictional history of George R.R. Martin's novel was inspired by the actual history of our world. And history isn't always nice and comforting. It's full of complexities and nuances. Few people in this series are purely good or purely evil. They're mostly just humans with basic human needs, prone to human failings. Some are more damaged
I'll take
than
over
others.
Yeti. Some are more damaged than others. Like, I don't know, it put me to sleep. And they in turn inflict damage themselves, either purposely or inadvertently. Most of them are doing. All right, so okay, I gotta go back to it. All right, so they're giving the tone to House of Dragons. So that's their first category. And they gave it to House of Dragons. So that's one. World building. Anybody want to take a guess which one they gave it to?
There was no
I
world building in
Rings of Power.
Yeah,
Rings of Power.
I was
There
gonna
was
say.
none.
They gave it to House of Dragon. Oh no, wait. They're listing both of them. Never mind. This is different, unlike the other one.
Oh.
I'm just gonna get to their reason why. What did they? Oh, they picked House of Dragon. Wow. Is this the same article I look? Because this is not how I remember it going. Romance. Oh, they're
Romance. Ugh.
It
Why
was
is that?
Dude, they touched
cringy.
shit. Did you see the scene where they
Ugh.
touched their pinkies?
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
they gave
Dude,
it a
that's
Rings of Power. Yeah. The philosophy is carried through in the Rings of Power. The first episode introduced us to Arender, an elvish archer tasked with watching over a human village. I don't think that's what his job was. He's done a poor job hiding his affection toward one of the villagers. You know, the one that abandons her son. A human healer named Bronron. Yeah, all signs point to this becoming the Arwen and Aragorn of this series.
I mean, you had Matt Smith like literally about to kill the hand of the king because he mentioned something about another woman that he took from a whorehouse into Dragonstone. Yeah, there's no romance there.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's trying to pick her a husband. Like,
I think it's interesting that this article, where it puts its like headline or like what it thinks are deemed like quality material, because it's like tone. I look for that in a fantasy series. World building. That's another thing I look for in a fantasy series. Romance, you know, like that. Like I was like, I don't know about that. But
No, Max. Later on, they're gonna have elves. Which one wins for having better elves?
no, do they really?
no, I don't know.
That would be.
No, I think
pretty
he's just
funny,
kidding.
though.
But so
Not
this
joking,
looks
but
like,
yeah.
okay, we have to make sure we give House of Dragons at least a couple here. Political intrigue. There's no way it's Ring of Power. Oh, see, yeah, like I said, yeah. Let's see if they. This is already at the point Game of Thrones doesn't reach until the very end of it. Wait, hold on. In other races, all have their own autonomous systems of government, mostly monarchies. In a way, this world is already at the point Game of Thrones. At the point Game of Thrones doesn't reach until the very end of its run, when all the disparate societies must come together to fight an outside threat to all. That makes their individual infighting less urgent than the greater looming danger, which never seems to be truly vanquished. Wait, no, it 100% was vanquished when little girl like stabbed him.
Yeah,
it 100% was done.
She rolled a 20 on a sneak attack.
Wow. Okay. And let's see what visual effects.
Oh,
I know
I-
who they're gonna give this to. Yeah.
Well,
This is the determining factor. If they give this to Rings of Power, then you know this is a shill website.
well,
They're going to give it to that.
Literature Devil. Ever heard of them? We talked about this the other day about how they're using the what's it called? The new like wall of screens. There's a term that they have for it now.
Oh yeah, the LED
Volume.
warehouse that they film everything on.
Yeah,
volume?
well, yeah, the volume. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
I don't think Rings of Power did that. They brought that up to make it.
No. This is what I'm talking about. So I'm almost 100% sure that they are using that as well, because that explains why Yeti and I were talking about how they were walking. It was the Blelvin, the Black Elf, and the other guy when they first entered that village. Yeah, it's like they kind of like, okay, got to hit my mark, and there's really not a lot of movement there because it's so restricting that whole system that there's not a lot of room for them to actually work in.
Screen room rather than that what you're talking about, Because we brought up both.
It also explains why none of them are riding horses or anything, and they're walking everywhere.
Because they could set up that screen anywhere that could be outside. So if they use that, they'd be able to walk past where so that's the advantage, where they were clearly in like the green screen room and had like 5 feet to walk.
Do you understand what we're talking about with this system?
Yes.
Because you're saying the green screen room, like that's the room with all of those monitors and bullshit that they have it reflecting.
No, there's 2 different systems.
Right. Well, why would they use the old system that's been being used since the 90s?
They use the green screen on the boat scenes.
Yeah.
So they will use in that one
because the water and shit.
Well, not that, because that warehouse that they film that in is bigger, so they can actually have the ship in there, versus the one that has all the screens. It's a smaller one.
Yeah. So, anyway.
I don't know.
But yeah, we talked about we talked about
both. I know.
Not you. Lit and I talked about the volume and how it is really becoming, it limits how much room that the actors even have to work in, because like there is a stage and there's shit behind you, all these monitors and stuff. There's no real room and everything feels very constricted and out of place. That's why it always looks like you can't touch that stuff. Yeah. Really interesting. But anyway, visual effects. All right. I think we're all going to say that is they.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
A draw.
Interesting.
Every scene is not lovely to look. They've got several scenes that are, and that's always panning and far away, and then it gets very claustrophobic as soon as it gets to the people.
Yeah, they go extreme wide shot, showing thing, and then everyone else is just in a room. That's
so close.
Oh my God! F's in the chat for my brain cells. Fucking hell.
If you counted the number of effects shots per episode, the Rings of Power would probably have way more. Most of them are beautifully rendered, but with that much CGI, they're not all going to be perfect. Still, this series does a great job of matching the look and feel of Peter Jackson's films, expanding on them and adding some new flavors to the mix. Every scene is lovely to look at.
He built cities everywhere. There were cities in the background that didn't get used, but they were built back there.
In that car. It's everything we could ask of a fantasy series and more. Dude,
like,
the
none
one
of it,
thing
that wasn't digital. They had all those sets and the panning, and it was just gorgeous. This, it's clearly
basically the same thing, bro. Like,
clearly it's a draw. They said that. We get it, Yeti.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure, like, and even the most like the biggest haters of Rings of Power can say like, no, they definitely captured the Peter Jackson look at the films, because that's not nonsense.
Maybe if they're comparing to The Hobbit, I don't know.
Round 6, audience.
What?
Are they rating the fans at this point?
Yeah, I think
like
so.
Who's more toxic?
By the way,
God, please,
listen.
Please, mate, add the word toxic fans in there. I need it for my bingo card.
God.
All right, real quick, because I got a few things to say here. All right, okay. I don't care about the race swap with the Valerians or whatever they're called, right? Varlarians? I don't give a shit. Anyway, but what I do hate is that they were like, well, they got to have blonde hair though, right? Yeah. Well, we're going to put them in the most wiggity whack wigs we can find. And no one is going to say, what's up with your hair? Like, you know what I mean?
It was so bad.
Like,
look at this.
We're going to make it look 95% convincing, but enough that we can actually see your natural hair under just the front part of your head.
Look at the, like, if you're going to do the race swap, don't keep this. Why is this what you're going to keep from the books?
Because they have to have that hair color. That's the trait.
Well, then it sounds like they have to be white, Yeti.
Yeah, that's been the issue. And the character that they race swapped, there's a whole plot line about whether or not he's really a part of the house. And
no, they've clearly established that because of his black skin, he's pure. He's the only one. He's the only one that's been George Washington is funny,
dude. It 100% looks like a wig from like the Wood Party or some shit.
And for me, it's also weird that the one scene that they picked when it comes to the audience is they picked the scene where there's a 50-year-old trying to court a 12-year-old.
But he doesn't. He doesn't.
I know. Oh, in all fairness, it's the parents going, "Don't worry, you don't have to sleep with him until you're 14."
That reminds me of Neil Breen. Whenever he has like a younger chick, he's like, "But I didn't do it. She wanted me. I didn't go for it."
Yeah.
Dude, Neil Breen. Was it Fateful Findings where the girl's in the pool?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, you're a fan? Dude, we've watched every one of his movies. Everyone.
Am I a fan? I'm a follower of Neil Breen. Are you kidding me?
It's genius. Pure
He's
genius.
the only guy I know that can put 5 full stops in a title and it makes sense.
Dude,
I'm here.
Listen, no, there's so much genius there. We always talk about how that we think if you take all of his movies, because there's a lot of the same like beats and tone and like messages of like, you know, he's the savior. He definitely has a Jesus complex. Literally in whatever that one was, where he's in Vegas, where he floats down.
Yeah,
like he's a cyborg Jesus zombie.
Jesus, yeah,
zombie. Yeah, he's also a zombie. Yeah. Anyway,
you can hack computers without them being on.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's the greatest hacker alive. Yeah,
he loves tuna, especially out of a can.
Yeah, but no, listen. If you put all of his movies together and like layer them, it could be one amazing fucking movie. But it's like Da Vinci Code almost. You know,
you gotta decipher it. It's gonna be there. Somebody's gonna put together. It's gonna be the greatest movie ever made once it's all set together.
Or he's gonna be a mass shooter. I don't know what's point. Like he really hates people. Like there's
the
bank
murdered.
Like he puts previous clips from his previous movies in his current one, but reverses them so no one notices. He's brilliant. Like who would ever thought of that?
It's a sign. Yeah. That's where you're supposed to put the cuts. Like he's laid all of this out. He's like 4D chessing these movies. I'm telling you.
What is his? What was the last one where he was a twin? And they were abducted by aliens and turned into super. One of them had a cocaine crack problem or some shit.
Twisted pair.
Twisted pair. Yeah. The effects in that one. The audacity.
Where he's jumping from the building. Reaches out. And...
Speaking of that one, did you think he was going to sexually assault and murder that woman at the beginning?
Oh, you mean his wife? Yes.
His wife. Yeah.
He did though. Like
that's what I mean. Like
they set it up that he was doing that.
No, but he walks in and
like, this is great. There's an evil Neil Breen and there's going to be a Jesus Neil Breen. They're going to have to fight together.
See you later, there.
Laser beams from PlayStation 2. Like it'd be great.
Man, he goes in like didn't she hit him with a painting or some shit?
Yeah, and she's screaming and all that, and
scream and kick, and then they start laughing. It's like, what do you want for dinner?
Yeah.
Why did you destroy our painting? Yeah. We live here. We're gonna have to clean all this up. Before that, though, when he first meets her on the street, there's that rubber rat that's just by the homeless guy. Sorry, I could talk about Neil Breen forever.
Whether it's Baby Hair Desert, whether it's rubber rats, whether it's skulls that happen to turn in every film that he does, like the amount that he spends on props is a little bit less than what Amazon does, but they're about the same quality. I give it a draw.
Yeah. He said he's not funding this next one on his own. Like he has a Kickstarter or something for it.
Yeah, I've already put money into it.
Not doing too well. He's at it for a while now.
It's funny because my big question is like with that rat is did he intentionally want it to be like seen, like thinking that that's good production value, but the other thing I was I've Red Letter Media did a great video on his video tutorial / class.
Yeah, that's a good
he
one.
has the DVD,
the masterclass. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yes, the masterclass. It's like 3 hours long, and like an hour and a half of it is just reels from his previous movies.
Yes, and he even does the book thing. Like there's a level to him that he understands, kind of but he doesn't embrace it. Like what's his name? Johnny. Yeah. And that's when because he was like, oh no, I meant it to be bad the whole time. Oh, you make another one, I make it, and then it gets sucked because you can't make things like that. They have to be sincere. We talk about this all the time because all we do is watch bad movies, but there has to be sincerity to it for it to work. Yeah.
It's not fun to watch. It's not funny. It's just cringy. There's no.
They can't be self-aware. Like once they become self-aware, then they're
Sharknado.
Yes, yeah. Their creative genius is suppressed because they're now aware of what they're doing. But when they don't know and they're still kind of in that, infantile stages of like figuring out their creative mindset, and it's just insanity on the screen. That's like pure perfection.
Miami Connection is one of our favorite movies ever. We've watched it multiple times. I have a Dragon Sound t-shirt. Miami Connection.
Greatest band
ever.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I have a Dragon Sound t-shirt, bro. We love Miami Connection. Cool. I found one the other night with the girlfriend. It was called New York Ninja. Yeah. And the first 3 minutes was the most bananas thing I've ever seen. I wish I could show you.
I mean, I'm saying we got to go find rights to some of these things.
What's that?
These other companies have been able to find these random movies that don't have distribution, and they could dub it over and everything. We got to do that. We need the street smarts, Mad Barber Boys cinema.
Dude, we got taken down. We got blocked worldwide for this movie. It was called A Bible, and Bigfoot, and it's a Christian movie, right? So bad, bro. Because he's a veteran, and it's all a dream. So he wakes up from this dream because he was fighting this Bigfoot. It's absurd.
Spoilers. We never got that far.
Yeah, we did. We watched in the back. Shut up. Anyway, so they got in the
Harry and the Hendersons.
Kind of, yeah. But then the whole message is like his wife, who looks like a meth head, she's like, well, no, it's because of the violent movies you watch, and because you're trying to deal with your trauma from war. And I was like, hold on, because initially when it started, I'm like, okay, I'm with you, right? When they were explaining why that happened, but then they went into this whole no, the movies you got to cut it out of your life or whatever. I'm like, oh, you lost me. But yeah, can you believe that? Look, I know this for a fact. Jesus himself would have been cracking jokes on their movie. It was horrible. All right. So yeah, dude, turn the other cheek, man. We got black for it.
There's some pretty cringe, and hey, I'm a Christian, and even I can admit that there's some Christian movies that have been made from Christian
Bible Man
companies and stuff. Yeah, oh my god, dude, that are just so cringy, and it's almost hard to watch because you're you physically are this is brutal.
Yeah,
the dialogue is just written like a kindergartner.
But then you get VeggieTales, which was amazing. You know what I mean?
Which is great. VeggieTales is fantastic.
Where's my hairbrush? I still sing it to this day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but in it's weird because there's a lot of correlation between what happened with Christian movies and stuff to what you see now with the the critical theory and the intersectionalism in movies. They're almost to the same level of any movie with what's his name from Growing Pains. I forgot his name.
He always saves Christmas and everything.
You said, but
Cameron, was it
something like that? Yeah, but they're almost to that level though.
It's from Half-Life in it. Can't even think about
it. What's the End of Days movie that they do? Left Behind.
It's kind of from what I'm understanding, kind of what you're saying and what you're seeing is when the message becomes greater than the story, that's why the production value gets lost. Because in those Christian movies, they're trying to push really heavily, the Christian message, and then same thing with CRT and identity politics,
intersectionalism, all that stuff. Well, what I've described it as is it's an external.
Kirk Cameron, thank you.
Kirk Cameron,
2020.
right?
Kirk Cameron, that's who I was thinking of. As soon as you were saying the Christian films, it was yes, that's the guy.
I describe it as an external MacGuffin because their ideology drives the story and it suffocates any creativity or storytelling because everything has to align with this outside force, this outside determine this thing that determines what the story can and cannot be, and there's no room for creativity there. And at least with Kirk Cameron, he's not lying to you. He's not telling you that. You know what I mean? He's not what are you talking about? No, I'm not trying to push Jesus on you. Come on. But I'm just saying, like, if you don't, ask him to be your Lord and Savior, you're gonna, burn in hell.
I mean that's a perfect explanation for it. Is that it becomes such a driving force that they have no creative integrity or ability to further the story or the show or series or movie or whatever it is. So
it's not even limited to just ideology. Is if you're trying to create a story and you have this idea of what you want it to be or what you want it to say, you're gonna restrict yourself from being able to really explore any new ideas as you go along. Because like when you start, you really don't know what you have until you have it. Does that make sense? Like I'll start a project or whatever. I'm like, all right, this is what I'm thinking. But as I'm going along, I may change it. I may, you have to have that ability or that opportunity to pivot if you see the opportunity for something better. You can't be scared to take that turn,
Absolutely. Yeah, because if you do see that opportunity to like do something more creative or do something with a character that like needs to kind of make a turn, if your message is so on point, and if you can't veer from that character then can't grow and make that change because you're just so focused on dialing into that whatever it is. But
that's why
I hate to interrupt, but we do have an important chat. Katina Martin has never seen a Neil Breen film. How can we help her with this?
Wow.
Well,
I would say sail the 7 seas and find some there.
Absolutely not. We have watched every single one of them on our channel. We never get claimed for them. That's why we go back to them over again.
Which one should you watch first?
Oh, I think Faithful Findings, right? The one like, why would you do this? Why?
I can't believe you committed suicide. Why would you commit suicide? Oh, I can't believe you committed suicide. Why did you commit suicide?
Oh, dude.
I'm going to shoot this car up full of holes.
Yeah. We were friends when we were kids. No.
I aged 50 years. You've aged 4. So, yeah. The best part is when they cut back to the mother and the daughter and she's looking off the camera and she's like, oh, no, Dad.
Neil Breen ages like Brahma Bull.
Yeah. Katina, if you want to know all of his movies, just look him up on IMDb Breen and you'll find it.
I really hope Brahma comes back just to see that.
I want to tell this story, but I'm not going to.
I know.
Neil Breen is better than Uwe Boll because Neil Breen loves his fans. He absolutely loves them. Uwe wants to kill them.
See, this may be where I'm out of my my depth here. I do not know who Uwe Boll is. So
man.
He does bad adaptations of horror video games mainly, and when people don't like his reviews as reviewers, he challenges them to a boxing match.
So in the name of the king.
Some of them are dumb enough to actually accept it. And he's I think he's German.
He's something.
He is German. Yeah.
He's
very German.
When I talked about in the name of the king earlier, that's him. He's the dude that would go to this to Romania to make these cheap movies, but keep some of it.
Oh my god!
He's made a ton of
like a raid type movie, but it was really low budget, and he had to crowdfund the last one. And then when he didn't get enough money for it, he went on this huge 30-minute rant attacking all the fans who did not the ones who didn't pay money, the ones who did for not putting enough in to do it because it's the most important film of the century.
What is he a Twitch thought?
No, but he's he was very angry.
It sounds like one. Like it sounds like, I'm not gonna put on my vest. I'm trying to have fun with you guys.
I'll take it off. I don't want to.
Neil Breen is immensely better because there's something just in his films that brings joy to people that watch it.
I love how he doesn't realize he's the bad guy.
Yeah, I know.
When there's the one where the dude is in the wheelchair and he gets pushed over by the guy, and his response is, "Hey, I'm gonna burn out your eyes and make them bleed."
Yeah.
That seems.
And then he heals that guy. That guy was on benefits. Now he's gonna get sued for the government for fraud. The guy goes to jail, and then and now the other guy has to end up on benefits. He's just traded one problem for another.
Well, then he took biological warfare.
Double down. or whatever it was.
It put them in the river, which
In the river.
Yeah,
And he
millions and millions.
He has like chemical weapons in all these different cities. So if anything ever happens to him, they will go off. But he's the good guy. He's hacking and finding all the
I still don't
secrets.
understand how he was supposed to be good. It doesn't make sense.
You know the reason why he's good, because the bad guys sit in cars and like, geez, I really love being bad in the environment. Me too. I think it's great that we're polluting everything and taking everyone's money. We are so cool.
Wait, is that dialogue from Rings of Power? Because it's so on the nose, it just sounds very.
So last thing on this, we got to get back to this because we put it in the title, so we have to cover it. Yeah. Last thing though, fateful findings. When at the end, everyone's like, "As the president of the bank, I have frauded people." As your senator,
killing you themselves.
Yo, and then they had that reticle, like the sniper or whatever. I'm like, that's not what y'all doing.
But nobody's freaking out. Like half the people committed.
It's so awesome.
Killed themselves on the front lawn of the White House, basically.
Yeah.
And everybody's still filming this press conference where Neil Breen talks for 10 minutes without saying a single thing.
We haven't even got into the magical rocks or the fucking.
Oh God, yeah.
Or the therapist that ghost. Oh, or the superpowers that he has that he can walk through walls at one point.
Mm-hmm. But never does it again. Never uses it ever again. The magical feet that always appear at the end of beds that disappear.
There was one film with a fairy for like 30 seconds that's never brought up.
Oh, that's a totally different. That was
a different film.
Double Team, whatever his Double Team was.
But still, the fairy shows up and then it's gone, and there is no reference to it.
And he's hanging people. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, how are we not talking about his butt though in Fateful Findings? We see his butt twice.
I'm sorry, his balls.
You told them that. You see the things that were floating behind it. You're like, oh.
That's the only movie he won't release because his balls are in it. Mind you, he could cut it out. Hell, I edited around it so I could put it on our stream.
Yeah,
like, I don't know why you can't do it, bro. But yeah, you can see his balls floating in the.
What we've come to realize is he will anything he shoots, he puts in the film. It doesn't matter. He can't cut anything, so he can't go in and cut that.
No, he does. He does put cuts in there, but he needs you to know how long it took him to drive from point A to point B, and how many cans of tuna he had to eat along the way. It's very important. Rings of Power doesn't. They walk from one thing to the other side of the planet instantly.
All right. Yeah. All right. Audience, this is round 6. Audience, this will be good. House of the Dragon. HBO is quoting the same. What are you booing?
Because we're gonna have to talk about Rings of Power again. And
it's in the title. HBO is courting the same mature audience who watched Game of Thrones, and it made that immediately clear with the graphic sex and violence in the first episode. Don't expect much restraint when it comes to explicit content in House of the Dragon. If you don't have to worry about kids wandering in the room while you're watching House of the Dragon, the edgier option. What? This is audience? What? It's a draw?
What? Okay. I don't know how you determine either of these.
A TV-14 rating makes this a much more welcoming show for viewers of all ages to watch together. There's no nudity or sex.
What are they rating though? I don't understand.
There's no scale for this.
The same rating. Of course, it's going to be a draw if that's what you're basing it on.
So draw.
Would a G be better than an R, or an R be better than a G? Like
draw.
This is the final score. Let's see what happens. We have 2 rounds for House of the Dragons, 2 for the Lord of the Rings, and 2 draws. So it's a tie.
Oh
my God. How this article writer should be a politician.
Fencesitters.com.
But no, that's a good point though, Grant Gregory. It's like if you are going to judge an audience, what are you basing them off of? Of like how broad of an audience it is, how toxic the audience is, because
then House of Dragons would win. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because then you could also say like who has the more like honest and like, because the Tolkien fans, the Tolkien audience is very Puritan. Like they want to stick to the Tolkien, whereas like Game of Thrones lore experts probably can play it fast and loose. They're not as purists, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know, but.
As far as experts though, like I feel like R.R. Martin's going to be the expert on Game of Thrones. And even he's like, man, the wigs look fine. I don't know why I almost gave him the George Lucas voice.
I was going to say, was that him there? That was spot on.
Yeah.
He's better at these, dude.
I don't. Is he American? Who knows? Who cares? I don't know what he is. Right? He's American. Yeah.
As long as he's not naked, jumping on a trampoline eating pizza, I'm fine.
All right. Here's another one. Yeti, get through this one quick. What's it called?
The Lord of the Rings. The Rings of Power is actually
Wait, go ahead. No.
It's a true statement because we all thought absolute dog shit, and it is as good as what we thought it was going to be.
Actually as good as everyone hoped.
Coleman Sply. What? No, not Splied. Spilled
Nailed it.
Day? Spill Day? Coleman Spill Day.
Yeah.
Spill Day.
One of my people from that name.
Let's see. I'm skipping all this stuff.
Hawkins Coleslaw. Might as well.
Oh, I remember this article. Holy shit. This one's insane. Nick's pick. The Rings of Power is a sweeping.
Scrubs? You're talking?
What?
The name? Hawkins? No,
Hawkins Coleslaw was another. That was another Red Letter Media reference.
Yep. Sorry, no. Coleman Slawsey is a guy from Scrubs who looks like Colonel Sanders. Sorry,
Oh yes.
Okay, yeah. All right, next pick. The Rings of Power is a sweeping Lord of the Rings fantasy that puts House of Dragon to shame.
Ugh.
I'm gonna say that one again for the kids in the back, like She-Hulk. The Rings of Power is a sweeping Lord of the Rings fantasy that puts House of the Dragon to shame. It's astonishing, then, that it only cost $465 million to make, which coincidentally is half the rent of my NYC apartment. Lol.
Isn't that funny?
In the aftermath.
Wait a minute. You know what? I don't think that's true.
Go ahead, Max.
Oh. No, I was gonna say almost everything in that just short statement is like false. Like it's not it's not a Lord of the Rings fantasy. It's definitely based off of some of Tolkien's writings, but it's not Lord of the Rings. It doesn't put House of the Dragon to shame. It's not astonishing. Like everything that they've said so far is like, no, it's not right.
It cost more than $465 million to make it. They had to pay $1 billion just for the rights to not use his work.
And the work by the way they can use is like so minuscule. Yeah.
By the way, that's insane that you pay $1 billion and they're like, oh, you can use the footnotes.
I don't understand what happened there. Like, did they not understand that they didn't buy the full rights? You know,
it's actually kind of.
They were trying to save a bit of money because they think that what happens is they can slowly introduce these elements. The people can give them that names without them actually doing it, and they can essentially hint to the point where they're basically saying Gandalf instead of saying Gandalf. What they'll say, they'll just call him the Grey, sort of thing like that, to get away with it. So they'll save a couple of $100 million here and there, to get away
like
with
what
it.
The WCW did when they brought in Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Like Scott Hall was like, you know who I am. You know,
yeah, exactly.
Because they wouldn't say their names because like they wanted them to have that Razor Ramon and Diesel, and then finally they're like, okay, I'm Scott Hall. Yeah, but I love Scott Hall.
That's what it is. Like, and also the fact of the matter is that they couldn't afford what it was because they were unwilling to sell everything.
I think what's going to happen is if this thing fails, which it's failing as we speak, right? I think the way that we're going to be, because they're not going to admit it. Good Lord, they put out that $25 million, like the 25 million viewers, like everyone's going to believe it. Like, yeah, they'll believe it. Trust me. But I think what you'll see is you're going to see changes in like maybe the showrunners here and there, but you'll see that because it's $1 billion, they got to get their money back, right? You're going to see like what Marvel is doing with their shit Disney Plus series. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a lower quality like shows that are based on whatever, and they're just gonna ride that IP out. As long as they can put Lord of the Rings, they're gonna keep pushing it out, and it's gonna be cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, just like what Disney Plus is doing with their shows.
Yeah, And it's the only way they
Only
can
way.
bring down the total cost per episode,
Yeah.
And everything like that. They'll do 22-minute episodes of Disa singing to the rocks in a cave, and then there'll be 6 episodes of those, and then there'll be one on I don't know, the poetry of Enron.
Oh,
Well, no,
Yeah,
But-
in my reviews, I refer to him as Enron, and I
That's
can't
hilarious.
not say it now.
That's really funny.
I don't think what they realize though, even if this is the plan or whatever, the backup plan, the thing that they're missing is all the good shit that Marvel had. The only reason why people wanted to like give the their Marvel Plus series like a chance was because we had Infinity War, we had the Iron Man movies, the Captain America. Like you built up this goodwill in between Phase 4, both in the cinematic bullshit in the Disney Plus. You're pissing all the work you did. Like, what are you doing? You got all that goodwill from the audience, and now you're just like, we like money more than But yeah, in the long run, I think Lord of the Rings is going to have a more of a struggle to try to replicate that Marvel, like the Marvel Disney Plus, shit shows. That's
well, if they stop, money laundering and put some of the money actually into the show, then then might be okay.
And the problem, comic book fans are nitpicky. People do university courses on Tolkien's work, so
it's insane.
It's like, and you're talking about years and years, generations of lore and stories that have been passed down and everything that have not changed, except now in the last 5 years have changed, drastically. So these are the sort of people that aren't going to back down from it. And I think when they attacked it like this, they were expecting people just to go, no, it's all good, like the comic book fans. Because half of them haven't read it, but there are so many people who know these works inside and out.
Well, one of the differences with the comic books, it constantly changes. They'll have a different series where they do something totally different. So that's normal to change something rather aggressively. Tolkien has stayed the same. It stays the same. When he started, he spent his entire life building this one world. He built languages. He did everything to work out this story,
seasons and tides and shifts of the moon, and and not only that, when he was talking about a tree in the book, it took up 4 pages.
Yeah,
a tree.
A door on a hut took up like at least 2 pages. That's a real thing. That's all I know about his books. I'm not reading that shit. It's long.
And now a 400-mile journey happens in 1 sentence. They left and they arrived at Khazad-dûm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they're doing the Batman. Like, how
clothes.
did Batman get back to Gotham? He got out the hole. All right.
Is he Batman?
In the aftermath of Jackson's The Hobbit, it appeared that Tolkien's Middle-earth franchise had, in terms of screen adaptations, run its course. The Rings of Power put the lie to such notions, returning to the author's universe with a flair and veracity that proves instantly enchanting. Oh boy!
How?
No. Did this come from Amazon? It crafts his character.
How is it instant? Like they just say these words and it's like, oh, it's intriguing. Oh, it's funny. Okay, what's funny about it? What's intriguing? Give me something.
When was there a joke?
So I can...
It crafts his characters and kingdoms, including the subterranean realm of the dwarves, with assured grace, cleanly and engagingly delineating their personalities and dynamics while indulging in majestic panoramas and aerial shots across hillsides and mountaintops. I'm not reading more of his shit.
It's weird that the people who live in caves and mine and dig are the cleanest people in there, yet the people who are, the men or man, are all really in dirty. Like, none of them know how to bathe, except for the one woman and her son, who knows how to bathe.
I don't like, these costumes are so bad. They're so bad. When you look at Peter Jackson's one, the dresses look graceful. The way that they had everything laid out and flowing.
Especially Galadriel.
Yeah. Well, and the men still look like men. I don't know what's going on with these dudes.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say Legolas looked like a man.
But he looked like an elf. What he was supposed to look like. Now these guys, I don't know what's going on.
Get it out of there. Single-mindedness makes her a fearsome fighter.
Oh, no. She abandons her people on the ice wall to get up first. The reason why they went in a group in Game of Thrones is because it was so dangerous. They had to make sure someone wouldn't fall. They'd be there to, help them.
Yeti.
No, she abandons their party.
Yeti, it's just getting started. Let me finish the next sentence. Yet following a battle with an enormous troll in an icy abandoned citadel that may have once been home to orcs, she finds her compatriots unwilling to follow her to the ends of the earth to stamp out Sauron, especially since there's no proof that he or the apocalyptic threat he opposes exist, except for dude, it felt to me
they found up there.
It felt to me like literally she was just making this shit up, right? Because she would be like, oh, this is where they hung out after the battle with Sauron. Oh, this symbol is a way for the orcs to find Sauron.
Yeah, she walked in. 18 intelligence coming through. 18 intelligence coming through.
Yeah, see, this is the thing that I don't understand. Because let's just say everything that she said is true. It was hidden. How would they ever find? It was so hard for him to get through to that point. How would that be a freaking beacon for all the orcs to know? I didn't understand that bit.
But she talked about
I didn't
it.
see any of the war scene or that beforehand. I'd only seen that the Middle Earth, see that. Where she says that it's so evil that no
fire can burn, or no heat will come off a fire. Yeah. But so they've never been there before. But she walks in there and she instantly knows
exactly where the wall is. And I'm
she punches
not the
through
wall,
a sheet of ice.
Yeah,
she just walks up to it. Oh, this is it.
No, she knows what use it was, what they used it for. They're like, oh, this is where all the orcs would meet up with Sauron, I guess, and do butt stuff. I don't know.
And the thing
they're famous for butt stuff.
Yeah. She watched Shang-Chi, so she knew that if you hit a wall hard enough, it'll lead you to exactly where you need to go. So that's what she did.
Yeah. Let's see here. What was that? Oh yeah. Single-mindedness. Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, that does remind me. Next time we're doing our Dungeons and Dragons game, that's how I'm gonna make find things such as I attack this wall. It works in all these other shows.
Galadriel is the soul of the Rings of Power, if far from its only focus. Guided by the dexterous hand of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom director J.A.F.O. Sorry, I didn't know that's who directed that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Are they for real?
Yeah.
What
as that second film was. That's
dexterous.
That's the one thing I don't understand. In the Lord of the Rings, there was an ebb and flow and everything to the different scenes, and that we don't know what's taking place where and when.
Yeah, there's no sense of time.
Odd reason. I feel like the Harfoot scenario, even though we saw the media and everything, I feel like that's way in the future for some odd reason, because the way in which I don't know. They play with time really weird with it, and if everything's happening at the same time, it took what's his name and Enron and Celebrimdor, whatever his name is, Celebrimdor, 4 days to walk across that. So Galadriel was swimming for 4 days while holding the dagger, because that happened in the same amount of screen time.
Yeah.
Where's the balance? I don't know if any of you guys have picked up on it, but I haven't heard anyone mention anything about what year it is.
Oh, no clue.
They can't. Because they took stories from the different sections that span centuries and mashed it into one season. So they cannot give any dates, otherwise it won't work out. They have to be vague. They have to make sure that it doesn't. That they can't put
be vague at everything, details.
Yeah.
Real quick, I need to address this. Okay, Joseph, welcome to the dump. I have my own channel. You can check it out. I will never say Galadriel correctly. I'm not even going to try. Zach Galifianakis. Damn it, I fucked it up too. Zach Galifianakis is the last fucked up name I'm going to learn. And I barely got that one. Not learning another one.
I don't think you
Not for this.
got it.
Galifianakis?
Nope, still wrong. Nope.
No.
Fine. Jason Mantzoukas is the last fucked up name I'm going to learn, and he deserves it. He's one of the greatest. Mantzoukas.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Jason Mantzoukas, dude, one of the best improvers like I've ever seen. Legit. Jason Mantzoukas.
You got
is a
that
genius.
name right, I think.
Yeah, of course I did. That's the last one I'm going to learn.
Yeah.
Shit.
You should have led with that instead of Zach.
Well, normally I get the Zach Galifianakis.
Dude, he couldn't even get through Von
Am I
Triest's
adding a K?
earlier.
Is that what wrong as the K? Is there not a K in Galifianakis?
So moving on about this show.
Max, did you know that this is the director from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom?
I found out about it after I'd watched the first 2 episodes, and I saw it on the credits or whatnot, and I saw that people were praising this guy's name. But yeah, I thought this whole time it was the 2 showrunners, Payne and McKay, directing and running.
Oh,
but I guess they're not directing at all. They're
they're
strictly
just
writers.
show running. Yeah,
yeah.
Well,
So
they might, directing from behind the director. It's like, oh, we need this, and okay, you
That's
go
called
film this.
producing, Eddie.
yeah, that's what they're doing.
And show
That's
running.
exactly what they're
That's-
doing. Yeah.
They might be doing that. We hope they are. 'Cause
I'm
that's their
talking
job.
the micromanaging of the small things.
Oh, you mean backseat directing?
Yes. Yeah.
Or like what James Cameron did for Catherine Bigelow on Point Break. She didn't
Basically.
direct that shit. Come on.
Well, even what is that movie? The Scarlett Scarlett Johansson film, Black Widow, where they had this female director come on, and they were like,
do the action.
Yeah, they were like, no, we already have those filmed, and she's like,
Yeah,
the hell, like you, but what am I here for then? So yeah,
do the girly stuff, whatever y'all do.
That movie was a mess.
By the way, so did you think that? I don't think he's using dexterous, right? Like it would be his dexterous
guys,
directing,
I've
not
gotta
his
go.
hand.
I'm about to get my power cut off. We got the electricity guy here for something.
Oh, okay, bro.
I'll be back when I can.
Sure, man. No problem.
okay.
Yeah. So.
See you, brother.
Yeah. It was
See you,
awesome.
man.
If I don't get to speak, it was awesome hanging out with you, Max, and I'll talk to you guys. Hopefully.
Hey, his power got cut off.
Yep.
But no, like a hand isn't dexterous like his directing would be. It doesn't matter.
I don't know. Maybe he rolled high on a D20.
I saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom because I wanted to do a video, which I did do, calling it the greatest Jurassic Park movie in all of Jurassic Park, mostly because of the feathers. That's the one I end the video because you call me on Discord, and in my video I'm like, oh yeah, what's up? I was recording audio for this. That's how I ended it. Thought it was great.
Okay. No, wasn't Fallen Kingdom the one before the newest?
No, I thought this one was. Oh, that's right. This is the last one was what? Not Dominican Republic. Dominion of the World.
Jurassic Park, Dominican Republic.
World Dominion? World Domination?
Dominion? Jurassic Park Dominion?
Oh gosh, I have no clue.
Yeah, Dominion. Yeah, that was the last one that came
yeah.
out. My bad.
So
Wait,
this was
Oh, hey, it doesn't really matter because Fallen Kingdom was almost as bad as Dominion. That's the one with the laser, and they're like, you know what I mean? You point this laser on this gun at anything, and our new Super Raptor will attack it. If I'm pointing a gun at someone, why would I use a laser to send in the Raptor?
I still thought that one was better than the Jurassic World. I couldn't stand Jurassic World.
Steven Spielberg's?
No.
The first in this new iteration?
Yeah. Isn't that they called that just Jurassic World?
I guess.
Am I getting the names wrong?
I think it was. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it was Jurassic World, then Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, then. But I don't know, man. That Fallen Kingdom one was brutal because they had that ego raptor thing that was like
with the laser.
Yeah, that was like
that
was
still
like
a
creeping
mess.
into the bedrooms and stuff. Yeah.
But still better than Jurassic World because
bro.
That thing was unredeemable.
Bro, this raptor pulled the sheets back on this little girl that was hiding in her bed, bro. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's like
there was
super
some bad
clumsy.
stuff with
Yeah, I
that.
don't know.
Some bad stuff. Not as bad as Jurassic World. Like
No.
the girl is sprinting through the jungle in high heels away from dinosaurs without breaking her ankles.
Cool. Yeah, this one, fucking Chris Pratt runs through volcanic ash that's like 1,000 degrees and jumped off of a cliff and saved got people from the fucking the bubble thing, the spear.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, all that happened.
God, I forgot so much of that movie. Or
The
it's
last
just a
one-
forgettable movie. Yeah.
The last one, Dominion, I made the girlfriend go with me, and
Still
she
wanna
fell
see it.
asleep.
Oh yeah.
It was so bad. There was so much exposition. I've never seen like whenever they would introduce a new character or whatever, not a new one, like one from the old friend. They're like, "Hey, you're so and so. You're here because you did this, this, and this," or like, "Hey, you're a doctor of this, and that's why you're here." Like, just in case the audience doesn't know, like, all they were missing was the Suicide Squad stats coming down on the screen.
Yeah.
So
I
bad.
haven't seen. I still want to see it. I haven't seen it, but
It's kind of like it feels like whenever something like that, when that exposition dump happens, it feels like they just look at the screen and they just go, "This person will come in handy later
Yeah.
because they will heal this thing. Notice this, audience," or like
well, it's
they're just looking directly at you.
I don't know if it's the writers are getting like way too rushed during these processes, so they can't kind of insert them naturally into the story. Like when you look at the first Jurassic Park, it was an amazing storytelling where the little details are there, but it's not coming up front where, oh, this person is, this and this. It comes into play.
They think you're an idiot. I think part of it is that they think they look at the audience as not being on their level to be able to understand storytelling in cinema. So they have to break it down for the dum-dums in a lot of ways. But also it's because they're just not as competent and capable as what we've seen before. Even Martin Scorsese can do this. Like in The Potted, one of my favorite movies.
Oh,
at the
so
end,
good.
At the end, though, he has the rat. Like, okay, we get it, guy. We get it. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's not a fan of Scorsese.
Guys.
But, yeah. Did you know in The Departed, every single time someone's going to get killed, they put an X somewhere on the screen. It shows up every single time.
Okay. Did you know in The Thing, the cinematographer, he would identify who was the thing, who wasn't by the reflection of the light on the eyes. Like if they were human, it would reflect, and then if it didn't.
Yeah.
What? No, yeah, Martin Scorsese. Right, that's his name. He directed The Potted. Thank you. Anyway, The Potted's great, but yeah, even him, he's like putting it like, we get it, bro, we get it, but not as bad.
I don't even remember the rat part right now.
It said that it's right after Matt Damon gets killed by Maki Mak. It did it, so it shows the dome of whatever. What is it? Their capital, the state capital, I think it is.
Yeah.
The with the go, yeah, and then they have the rat come across, like walk across the railing. Like, whatever. Watch it again.
Yeah, but we already knew he was the rat and everything at that point. Like,
yeah. But
spoilers. Ugh.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, even Martin Scorsese had those moments like, well, these dum-dums, let me make sure I spell it out for him. He's a rat.
They didn't do that in the original.
What original?
Infernal Affairs.
Oh, dude, I don't count that as a remake because, like, it was foreign.
But it was shot for shot.
Was it?
No, it wasn't. But
yeah,
for a second you thought, "Oh shit, maybe it was."
For a second, I was like, "Wait a minute."
It's like that Asian director film like Scorsese.
All right, so I have another one I want to do.
Did we lose MVP or did he had to go?
As soon as you showed up again, and I
well,
think
no,
he's got something against Australians.
I think what it is because I started talking about Martin Scorsese. He's like, "How dare you?" It bounced.
That too.
So let's do one more, and then we can kick rocks, pop smoke, what have you. What the hell is it? What is this? Get out of here! Get out of here! All right. this one really bothers me. This is what I wanted to bring up. House of the Dragon viewers say a surprise death is giving Game of Thrones season 8 vibes. House of the Dragon episode 3 featured a surprise death, and fans have been left disappointed by the underwhelming decision to kill a character off screen.
Oh, so it's not the guy that was crushed at the beginning. Oh, I thought that's who they were talking about.
Oh, I love that scene, bro.
I still haven't seen episode 2 and 3.
Okay, close your ears. Dude.
Should I leave?
Yeah, you can go ahead. All right. Grant, when the fucking dragon lands, and the guy's like, yes, thank you so much.
It's my lord, my lord. I'm like, he's gonna actually. I thought he was gonna get burnt.
Burnt, me too. I'm like, he's gonna burn. Oh, okay, no. And then
just turns him into paste.
Yeah. So, anyways, over in the Stepstones, Damon, am I saying that right for everybody in the chat? Damon,
I don't know if it's safe.
Had been raging a years-long war against the crab feeder.
It was more than a year.
Yeah. We don't have to read all that because I'll just get to the part. Okay. For many who had perhaps assumed Crab Feeder was being set up as a major villain in the series, the off-screen demise wasn't a particularly satisfying end for the character. So here we go. Crab Feeder had a death lamer than the Night King, said one viewer in reference to the leader of the... Yeah. God, I hate the over-explanations.
Okay, so some people are tarded. That's okay.
Yeah. They set up an interesting character with hashtag Crab Feeder, and he gets tiny parts of 3 episodes and an off-screen death. Weird decision. Disappointed with the Crab Feeder death, his presentation so far had been nothing short of stellar, and his design was unique and terrifying. I wish we had more Crab Feeder.
If they're going to compare it to any death, and if it's as popular as what this guy seems to think he was, even though he wasn't, it would probably be like over in Martel, Pablo Pascal's character, when he fought the mountain, he got his head crushed in.
Yeah.
You know, that would probably be more like not a character that was set up for 8 seasons.
Yeah, that's the difference, right? It's in no way can you compare the Crab Feeder. By the way, didn't even know that's what his name was. I just called him the grayscale crabber. You cannot compare that to the Night King, right? The Night King, from episode 1, this dude was being set up. Also, John was being set up for them to battle. Fuck that. You know what I mean? The reason why, you're just building up, and you get there, and then some little girl steals your kill, or you're being held down by a fucking dragon with fire, and then all the bad guys go boom, Ultron, and they all die. Everything that was connected to
fairness, it. We don't know if that was the stab that did it, or whether it was Jon Snow yelling at Dragon that actually killed them all. It could have been a coincidence.
Could be, but that sucked, dude. Thanos, they did right because it's kind of similar. And you know what I mean? You see, bits of Thanos throughout, but his payoff was so good. They gave him basically Infinity War was basically his movie was really earned. You know what I mean? And he didn't go out, but you know what? In a bitch ass way.
They made that movie like it was his. So everything that happened was justified up to that point. But you're also talking about a character that didn't say a single line of dialogue, just turned his head and looked and had a few minutes of screen time. And I don't.
Which one?
Which one
are you talking about?
The Crab Feeder in that.
Okay, yeah.
Was he even in the first episode?
I think at the end they showed a crab eating a person a little bit, not nibbling on a person. Didn't see him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. What are you talking about? It wasn't the same at all, bro. You barely knew him. Why are you whining about him? I'm just saying. That one bothered me. All right, I actually think
maybe this guy's got crabbed and he's feeling really he's feeling.
Yeah, we're safe.
Okay.
Yep. And then Jon Snow pulled. Oh, never mind.
So I'm gonna end it early. Grant, I got a freaking headache, man.
Yeah, you're good, buddy.
Yeah. So anyway,
I hope you feel better.
God.
What?
Did you hear how insincere that was, Grant? He's like,
no, I'm feeling bad for you that you have a headache.
Oh, I hope you feel better.
Man.
Anyway,
Can't even say a nice thing.
I remember what it was like to just have headache. God, yeah. Wish I only had a headache.
So, yeah, I just want to thank our guests.
Up.
Absolutely. Max is a great dude. It's awesome to have him on here when there isn't another 9 people, including Scott, and he never gets to talk, and he's just over in the corner being quiet. But yes. So I definitely want him back, dude. He's awesome. I like to see him on more. And I talked to Mark from the Mark in the Cyborg. Mark.
I want to see how long that was going to go on for. Honestly,
Cyborg Mark. Yeah, he's going to be on here next week, so we're going to push back to next Wednesday, but he will be here. Ooh, hoping, that internet. Oh, hey, Brahma.
Oh, one thing. Happy birthday, Brahma.
Yeah, happy birthday to Brahma Bull, who turns 62 years young.
Yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't look a day over 65.
But no, seriously, Brahma, I did have a little thing for you if you were going to be on the night. It's fine. Your family comes first, I guess, whatever. Not the superior dump. But yeah, so everybody wish Brahma a happy birthday. It's actually tomorrow, but we can do it tonight.
Well, today for me.
Yes.
Yeah, Grant's in the future.
Yep. And he's not the only little birthday boy we have in the community who has a big day coming up.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Jesus. Oh, wait. No, someone else? Oh.
Mine's coming up soon.
Yeah, that's fine. Dude, we've already had a Yeti Appreciation Day, and it bombed. It failed. We were banned by the world.
But that was...
You've had 3 of them this year.
Yeah, we got a copyright strike claim on life when we did that last one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not watching Suburban Sasquatch again. I don't give a shit if it was your birthday or not.
I would find a different movie that subverts...
Canadian birthdays don't count in America. Oh man, I wonder if your dad's gonna show up next week to wish you a happy birthday.
Probably not. He's drunk as usual.
Alrighty, Grant, you got anything, brother?
No, just gonna be doing my edits as per usual, and looking forward to sitting with you two guys and watching the 3rd episode of the Rangs of Power.
When the fuck does that come out, dude?
It's out now.
Wait,
no, it's not. Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh fuck me.
Oh god.
All right.
Seriously?
All right, I have to. Yeah, I'll need like a few minutes. I can watch that stuff. We might as well watch it.
Oh, I didn't know it was actually out today.
Oh. Okay.
I thought I was going to have a bit more to build up and feel. Yeah.
I instantly thought maybe we should go a couple more hours. Anyway, as far as me, man, I'm still waiting on that next thing to hit me. I'm like, so that's the video.
Just out of curiosity, when you get to the point where you monetize it, are we going to do Mad's turn to shill stream?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess we should. I think some people would actually be mad if we didn't.
Yeah, so, I think they actually would be.
That's coming up pretty soon. How many subs above 1,000 are you now?
I'm actually below 1,000.
Again, okay.
Again. So we have to do it again.
It's because he's Mama Susan's refugee.
Soul Assassin, if you don't mind, brother, can you drop my link one more time? We need to get a few more to stay above 1,000 so we can finish this process.
Please,
and
go subscribe.
Yeah, it would be great if we could get there to stay there long enough for them to approve it. A lot of work went into the channel, believe it or not. I know all of it looks pretty nonsensical and absurd, but we stuck to our guns and we never did this show, like a panel where we talk about the same topics that have been talked about 4 or 5 times a day. We did our own thing. We did it horribly, but we did our own thing.
We did it our way.
Yeah,
and we did.
Oh, dude, they should turn that into a song. That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
but
I think there's something there.
To the guy who sings it, I think that makes more sense.
Anyway, yeah. So if you guys don't mind doing that, other than that, oh man, I forgot to do an outro. All right, well,
you're really trying to stretch out this last couple minutes.
Yeah. Well, as we say over on our channel, if you're not being beamed up, you're being beamed down. Cover your.
Listen now, Mr. Kansas Law Dog. Law don't go around here. Savvy?
Hey, law dog. Law don't go around here. And I say, law doggy. Law don't go around here.
I want you to know it's over.
Well, bye.